What's the other girl shape? And that's the shape speaks. Wait for my guest to arrive. Hold on. We find this again. All right, y'all. Testing. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Hope y'all hear me loud and clear. Thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Shape. Thank you for hitting the button play. Waiting for my wait for him to come on and put his stuff on in here. I'm telling. Come on, man. I'm sorry, y'all. He said he was on his way. So I went on and came on and we don't got started. But your girl stuck on the way going to Colorado. Didn't want to. Y'all know I hate the West Coast. I hate the West Coast. Way more than I hate the East. Okay. Don't know where the hell I'm going out there. Somebody I might be coming out of California next round. So if you in the Cali area, hit your girl up, honey. Has maybe a chance to send your girl next. Come on, man. That's where you at? I guess so. Know what's happening. What's going on? Thanks. Right, so it's up on that twice. Okay.
Am
What's
I in
going
this
on?
thing or what? What's the damn deal, Shape? What's going down? What's popping? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Are you on Bluetooth? Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. Are you on Bluetooth?
Yeah.
Take it off Bluetooth.
Okay. Let me put my things back. I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know something going on. This thing.
Hey,
Can you hear me? What can you hear me now?
yeah, I hear you.
Or can you hear me a little bit?
I
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me good or not so good?
I hear
Cause
you.
I can barely hear you.
Barely hear me.
I don't know if it's my phone or what. I didn't drop my iPhone a few times, so it's kind of I don't know, man. Let me hold on. Let me try something else. I'm gonna try let me try something else. Hold on, cause I need to hear you. Hold up.
Yeah, I hear
Can you hear me? Can you hear me
you.
good? Okay, cool. I can hear you too.
Okay.
Yay, we Gucci. Alright,
Okay, ladies
we
and gentlemen,
live.
this is Breadtrukkk. Okay, I've rocked Bread. I've been at Swift. Okay, it's been a long time. Okay, I've
Long
rocked.
time.
And this guy's really been doing his thing. And I realized I ain't asked one of my loves. I got so many loves that I ain't asked. What's going on to be on the
Yeah,
page. So I gotta bring you on. You've been through it in trucking. Through a whole lot in trucking.
like a
You got
motherfucker.
to tell them. I can't tell 'em.
Oh, hold up. I don't. Let me ask a quick question, cause this is your channel. This is your space. Cause I didn't already said a couple curse words. I don't want to. I don't want to be saying fuck shit. Goddamn. I mean, God. See, there it is. My bad. Cause I
Breaking up,
curse. Is it
breaking
okay
up.
or not okay?
You're breaking up, and take it off the Bluetooth.
Damn. Let me
Take it off
see.
the Bluetooth.
Man, we might have to redo this whole live, man. Cause my damn, I can barely hear you when I don't have no the Bluetooth on, and then I don't know, I'm breaking up and shit. Like I got bars, I got like five, I got all five of my bars. I don't know what's going on over here, man. Um, shit. What you
Okay, well,
want to do?
take it
What
off
you
the.
what? Huh? Cause
Take
it's
it
like
off.
now I'm holding my phone up by my. Yeah, it's off now. I got the Bluetooth off. It's like I gotta hold my phone a certain like so I can hear what you saying. Like it's kind of like
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, take it off the cam. You know that you see the cam button at the bottom.
Yeah, let me see. Okay,
Okay.
we can still do
Say
this
something
thing.
now.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, one
Okay.
two, mic check.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with the video audio. Okay, now you've been fucking going on, right?
Going on 8 years.
Sound like you drive, right?
No, I'm just idling right now. Just idling. I'm gonna turn the truck off too, so I can make sure I can hear you better. Let me turn this thing off. All right, it's a reefer beside me. I don't know. It should be cool. We should be good now though. We should be good. I can hear you. But yeah, I've been doing my thing for 8 years, going on 8 years. July, no, not July. It'll make 8 years it'll make 8 years in March that I've been driving and doing my thing.
Okay, so it's been uh, you know, been my by. I'm cutting out. I'm not buffering on my, gotta be off phone.
Yeah, you kind of choppy. You real choppy.
My okay now. It's still breaking up now?
Say something again.
Is it breaking up now?
You good now? You good now?
I, I don't know what's going on with the situation, what's going on, but anyway, we gotta
Okay,
work
you
with
good.
like um so you you've been through a lot in trucking, right? I know you financed your truck.
Yes,
Uh
I did.
um, I know you don't want to how much it wasn't that much, right?
Dang, man, shape, you getting choppy. You getting choppy again on me.
Oh, okay, now you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you good now.
Okay. Um, so I you financed your truck, which a lot of us should have done in the first place,
Mm.
like me.
Yeah, it's
Now,
okay though. It's okay.
what do you have to do if they go leak?
Damn, you chopping again on me. Fudge, man. It's chopping on. It's
Take it off
chopping
the
again.
Bluetooth.
It's chopping on us.
Take it off. Take it off.
You said take off what?
Take off the Bluetooth.
Yeah, the Bluetooth off. It's off. It been off.
You still not hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's choppy. Like you'll say something and then like let's say you'll ask a question or you had said something about trucking and then like it just like the eight. You say you didn't. I didn't even get the 8 years, but I kind of pieced together what you were saying. Just come, we had a little small brief conversation earlier, so I just kind of piecing the stuff together. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, do you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you real good now, loud and clear.
Okay, but I can barely hear you. Okay, the best I can with it. Okay, what do you have to
Okay.
say about people that lease since you went and bought your truck from the dealership?
I don't judge people that lease. I don't have a problem with people that lease. Some people do, some people don't. But just my opinion on it. My dad, because before I bought my truck, my dad gave me advice. He said, "Don't lease, son. Just save your money. Go OTR for about a year, and save your money, and then get you a truck." At this point, I was like 2.5 years in the game. And I always wanted to get my own truck, but I was scared. I was scared to lease. I was scared to go finance a truck. And I talked to a bunch of people, and I just got a bunch of negative reviews about getting the truck and leasing the truck, and I didn't spend $40,000. I ain't made no money this year. Whoop de whoop de whoop. I just had so many horror stories, but I seen so many people like, leasing trucks and people at Landstar and Mercer and Great Wide and other companies. I'm like, man, it gotta be money in this. It gotta be money. So I'm like, man, you know what? I'm gonna take my dad's advice. I'm gonna go company. I'm gonna stay company for one more year and save my bread. I saved up like 23 bands and shit. I went and got me a truck. But I feel like with the leasing situation, people that lease, again, I don't have a problem with people that lease. I feel like if you're gonna lease, um, just try your best to do your research and pick a good lease in a good situation, and talk to as many people as you can before you jump into a leasing situation. But as far as the situation to look for is a place you can lease a truck and pick your own loads and run off a load board. To where you're not being 100% dispatched by the carrier where they're dictating the flow of income that you bring in. You want to be in the forefront of your business. You don't want to be, relying on this company's dispatch to make money and run for, pennies on the dollar, 105 a mile or 99 cents a mile, however they do it with the lease situations. But if it works, it works. People that do lease at the mega carriers, I always hear that it's best to team or be a trainer. So maybe people that are considering leasing, if you're going to be totally dispatched by that carrier and you don't have any control over what you're doing other than the loads you can reject or turn down, you probably should run teams or train because again, like, ask around and ask a lot of people. It's a struggle leasing as a solo if you relying on the carrier to totally 100% dictate your ship.
You bought your truck, and in recent times, you told me when we talked that you sold your trailer. Could you break it down? The what was your reasons for it? Because most drivers, that's the main goal is getting your truck and trailer. So what did you see was good about getting rid of your trailer? Because you bought and paid for yours cash. Remember?
Right, yeah, I did pay cash for my trailer. I paid 13 and some change for my reefer trailer at that time when I bought my trailer. Shit, the market was down, like the freight and stuff like that. Like it was kind of down. It wasn't like it is currently. Uh, 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 I sold my trailer because I was having some issues. Man, I had two trucks, down to one truck, and the reason I sold my trailer is because my second truck that I had purchased, it blew up in like 7 months. So I kind of just let it go, and I kept my one truck. Um, and the reason I got the second truck is because my first truck, I was running it for probably about 3.5 years before the engine went in it. So I basically used the second truck to help me get the first truck back on the road, which it served its purpose for the 7 months. I was able to, put a new engine and stuff and rebuild that truck back to where it needed to be. And but when I got that truck back on the road, that truck ended up messing up on me in like 2 weeks, but it wasn't due to uh, it wasn't due to a messed up rebuild or engine or anything like that. Basically, I went to get an oil change at 5,000 miles. When you get a rebuild engine or rebuild your engine, they'll tell you need to change your oil at 5,000 miles to get all the shavings and stuff out of it. So I was doing the right thing, so I stopped at TA to get my oil change at 5,000 miles. So I got my oil change, and I got all my filters replaced, and basically they put my filters in incorrectly, and they put the wrong oil in my truck, and I got 40 miles down the road. My engine started knocking, and TA basically, I called them, and they came out and assessed my truck, look at it and everything like that. And they paid for the tow bill to tow me back to the TA to try to fix my truck. They couldn't fix it. So I sat in one of their bays for like a day and a half, almost 2 days. Now they fed me and they accepted responsibility, of messing up my truck. So after that 2 days had passed, they basically they paid another tow bill. They towed my truck from was it Denmark, Tennessee to Jackson, Tennessee, to a Freightliner dealership to basically repair my truck. So TA basically they paid for a brand new engine in my truck, and they had my truck at the Freightliner dealership. They had my truck for, man, 9 months. They had my truck for exactly 9 months. So imagine being down for 9 months. Like, yeah, I had money saved up, but it's like 9 months. It's a long time. 9 months is a long time to be down as an owner op. So basically that was one of the reasons for me selling my trailer. I needed money, I got bills, I got kids. So long story short, that's how I end up selling my trailer. And that's why the trailer gone. Gotta get another trailer, man. But I don't feel sad or anything about that. It's just part of the game. It's ups and downs, and you gotta be willing to roll with the punches, and you gotta be willing to adjust and figure figure your situation out, and not give up. It's a lot of people, a lot of things I went through in this game so far as being an owner op. Like a lot of people in my shoes would have gave up. They would have gave up. Like in the midst of me saving the $21,000 to rebuild the engine in my maroon truck, I had the second truck, and man, when I tell you I was going through issues with that second truck, I put about maybe close to $15,000 in that truck in the midst of while I was saving the $21,000 to rebuild the engine in my maroon truck. You know, and for the maroon for that white for the well the second truck I had, the white truck. Got the white truck, got the maroon truck. So the white truck blowed up in 7 months. So imagine being in my shoes, getting the second truck, using that second truck to get the first truck back up and going. By the time you get the money to get the first truck back up and going, the second truck blow up right before your eyes. And all the money you invested in it just goes down the drain. You jump back in the first truck that you just put $21,000 in, and 2 weeks later, it's done. Like imagine the odds of something like that happening. Like, what do you do? Like, I was under a $7,000 load at the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was crazy. Man, it's just crazy. But I was able to pull my stuff together, and I was on side of the road, man. When that happened, I'm just like, I'm kicking rocks, and I sat down and like I'm holding my head like, God, dog, like I can't believe this is happening to me. I don't deserve this shit. So um yeah, that's basically why I end up selling my trailer. But the maroon truck is good now. It got rebuilt. Well, it didn't get rebuilt. They put a brand new engine in my Freightliner. And the crazy
Let
thing
me
about
ask
it
you this.
is, go
That's a
ahead.
real lot to go through for any owner op. So I know you have two trucks now, but see, I have a truck that's I'm paying for and has had problems. So a lot of people say that it's stupid to own a truck. A lot of people say that it's better just to keep leasing and keep leasing and keep leasing. And you be in the game going 8 years, you know there's a better half and a better say to that. You really could talk to a lot of cats and really help a lot of cats because a lot of cats kind of been through half the things you'd have been would have gave up on trucking. So what you have to say about that?
Mhm. Man, honestly, like I feel like everybody's situation is different. I know we probably hear that a lot. Everybody's situation is different. So you have to, um basically sit down, make a plan, and see what worked for you. Because honestly, ownership is my thing. I don't like making payments. I don't like overhead. I don't like bills. And that's just my thing. If it just depends on your situation. Like I feel like if you don't have a lot of overhead in your life or your personal life, um leasing probably would be the way to go. Far as get a brand new truck, turn it in 2 years, get another brand new truck, turn that in into, what I'm saying, it probably would be the way to go. But you know my personal life is set up a little bit different, and my personal bills are just set up a little different. So I like to keep my overhead low, and I couldn't see myself in the. It's just it's you got to see. It's just all about what works for you, honestly. And leasing, it just wouldn't work for me because honestly, I feel like this about leasing, and I feel like this about making payments on things like, far as a truck. As long as you're making the payment on the truck, and as long as you making a payment every week on the truck, that basically that truck, you a slave to that truck. That truck gonna make your ass go to work every week. You can't sit at home for 2 or 3 weeks. When you own the truck, you can go to work for 1 week and then go sit at home for 2 weeks. When you own a truck, you can go to work for, 2 or 3 months and then go sit at home for 30 days or a month and a half. I'm gonna tell you this, like it's just a big difference. You can go get maintenance done anywhere you want on your truck. You don't have to. Nobody can't tell you where to get tires from, where to do this, where to do that. Like you don't have to worry about those kind of things when you own a truck. Um, and that's like again, what works for you. Do you want somebody to be able to tell you what you can and what you can't do to your truck? Like you got to weigh those options because you always you got to think about that. If you just thinking about the money and you making quick decisions and well, I don't want to save 10, 15, 20,000 to put down on a truck. I just want to jump in the truck and over here I can just put zero money down or $500 down. I get a brand new truck, but you know that I feel like when you go to those orientations and those mega carrier companies, they gloss it up and they put armor all on those situations and they just like they try to get you to lease out the gate. As soon as you get to the company, they be like, "Well, you can lease," and they make it sound so good, and I've always kind of steered away from those situations because I just feel like it wouldn't work for me. But if I came in the game with a brother or a teammate or a chick, girlfriend or whatever, like then I probably would have leased out of the gate, and it would have been a good situation as far as teaming doing the lease thing. But I just never saw that situation like working for me. Yeah.
Pull up the microphone because I can barely hear you. I don't know what's going on tonight, but we gonna make it work because I just one of my loves on here tonight, y'all. Next question that I have is that you've been in this thing so long, you've been through so much. Do you ever feel like you want to give up and just do something else? I mean, you could be a broker and make almost as much money. So, with everything you've been through, why did you stick with trucking?
Man, I've thought about I thought about giving up. Yeah, I thought about giving up more than once. Like if you've been driving almost 10 years, even 5 years, even a couple years, even in the beginning, if you ain't thought about quitting one time, you a bald faced lie. I'm pretty sure we've all thought about quitting. I'm gonna tell you my first time, the very first time I thought about quitting. And well, first I'm gonna tell you another story. I would tell you another story. Like before I got my CDL, I had like three jobs. I worked at a halfway house, and I worked through this labor ready company, and I did security on the weekends. And I was doing this one job at the labor ready place, and I just kind of broke down while I was at work. Like, and I ain't got no shame in saying this as a man. Like I'm not boo-hoo crying, but I'm like I'm working by myself. I'm not around anybody like that, but just a couple tears just fall from my face. You know what I'm saying? I get watery eyed, tears fall. I say, man, this can't be life. This can't be life. Like this is some hard work. Like I don't want to live like this. Like because my dad always told me it's like what did he say? Let me stick to the story. But anyways, so I was like, this can't be life. My dad always was telling me to get my CDL when I turned 21, but I wasn't ready yet. I was, I had a child. I think I had my first child at 19, 20. So I wasn't ready. I want my child to, be a little older and know who I am before I step out on the road. Um, so the first time I thought about quitting, because I got my CDL in 2000 and was it 13 or 14? One of those, I think 14. And the first time I thought about quitting, it wasn't during when I was actually practicing, trying to shift and all that stuff like that. It was actually after I got my CDL because when I got my CDL, I got it through Stevens. So I started with Stevens. I got my CDL. I went on the road with my trainer. I only had one trainer. Boom, I finished with him. And it wasn't when I was with Stevens I thought about quitting. It was when I left Stevens and I said, man, I'm finna get me a local job. I'm finna be local. I'm finna make all kind of money and be at home at the crib. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get me a nice ass car. I'm finna just, you know what I'm saying? Live it up. So that's what I was thinking. I'm still a little younger at the time, so that's what I'm thinking, right? And I get this local job, and the local job was Pepsi. I was working for Pepsi, and that is some of the most hardest work. A lot of local jobs, it's like 10% driving, 90% work, and that shit broke my back. I had to be at work at like 5 in the morning every day, and sometimes I was dozing off on my way to work. You know, and I was getting decent checks. I was making probably anywhere between $700 and $1,000, but I was working too hard for that. It wasn't worth the money. It wasn't. I couldn't see myself doing that for any long period of time. So I was only there for like 3, maybe 4 months. And when I was there, I didn't think about quitting when I was there. Matter of fact, I thought about quitting because when I left Pepsi, I went to Snyder. I went to Snyder, and I was at Snyder for like I want to say about 13 months, 13, 14 months. Now I went local again after that. This one I thought about quitting. I went local again after that. I was with this bread company called SNL or something like that. And so I wasn't making any money there. I'm telling you, my checks was like $300, $400, $300, $400. My biggest check was $800. And when I got the $800 check, that was my last day. I quit. So I thought about quitting when I was at the SNL Breadtrukkk company, and it's like, man, like everybody was telling me like when I get my CDL, I'm gonna be making all kind of money, and it's like whoop, because I had a couple relatives that got their CDL before me, and they making good money. They getting $900 checks, $1,300 checks on a consistent basis or whatever. But at the same time, actually they were getting actually more than that. They were getting like freaking 16, $1,800 checks. But they was riding teams. This is my aunt and her girlfriend. They was running teams, and they was making the big bucks, in my eyes. And I thought about quitting when went local for the second time because I couldn't make any good consistent money, and I just didn't want to. I just didn't want to truck. But I was like, man, like I had to talk with my dad about it, and I said, you know what, like that was my second moment. You know what I'm saying? As a man, like I kind of broke down. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't boo-hooing and no shit like that, but watery eyes, whatever. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out. I'm gonna thug it out. So I after Snyder and that local company, I went to this company called KB Transportation where my homeboy was working at. And he was there for like 2 years. So I said, man, it's got to be a good company. Like so, I'm gonna go do that. And if that's that second time I broke down and stuff like that, my dad was telling me to save my money and get my own truck. So this when I decided to buckle down, and I got to that company, and I was only making like anywhere between $860 to $1,200 a week. So I only had one child at the time, so I was like, man, I'm just gonna budget. I'm gonna give myself like $80 a week, and I'm gonna just eat off that. And I'm gonna go to Walmart, go shopping. I'm gonna eat off that, and woo, 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 woo. And I did that for like 11 months, 11, 12 months, and that's why I was able to save up the $23,000 to get my first truck and stuff like
That
that.
got you real
But
fast. Now, you in Houston, okay? Now you got
yep.
your truck from the dealership in Houston. Why you just ain't never just jumped on the Twitcore band and just do what you need to do and go home and be with your kids every day?
You said jump on the twit car thing, like go like running the port. You said yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man, honestly, man, those port like right now, port drivers is making buku money, because of COVID and it was backed up. But port drivers don't be making no money. Like if man, like a local owner operators don't make no money. You don't make no money being no local owner operator. Now it is probably situations to where you can make a bag, maybe having contracts or if you just set up in the right situation. But to my knowledge and the things that I know and the people I've talked to, like it's more wear and tear on your truck, local, with all the stopping and going and shit like that. And those containers be heavy as hell. Like, and then not only that, like they be raggedy. And DOT is heavy in Houston. You know what I'm saying? So if I would decide to do that, my license would be towed up from the flow up. You know what I'm saying? And and then it wouldn't even be my fault. They can blame me because everything is a driver's fault, right? In this industry, everything is a driver's fault. It don't matter if it's raining, if it's snowing, it's the driver's fault. It's raining, like it's our fault, for everything. So even though we aren't responsible, well, we're responsible to do pre-trips and stuff like that. But it's like if we don't own these container trailers, like why the hell we gotta? And it's gonna slow us down if we try to go get it maintenance or whatever. But why should we be maintaining and like it's okay to pre-trip it, but we shouldn't be responsible for maintenance or on the damn container trailer? Or I don't know, man. Like it's a bunch of crap with that. So I just like DOT. So my dad got so many tickets running local, and he was doing flatbed around Houston, and his license got jacked up. But he's still able to make money, but his license got jacked up. So many points on his license of just being local, man, because DOT they will pin you to the wall and do something bad to you. They'll pin you to a cross, man, and stone your ass.
Okay, let me interject. Okay, so you say you don't want to do the local. Because trucking, Houston
Mm,
is a trucking hub, but you don't realize by now, ladies and gentlemen, Houston is almost just like Memphis. Okay, it's plenty of trucking
mm-hmm.
driving jobs. I thought about being local there with the Twickhorn thing, and I was there with a temp agency, do a temporary thing, but I ain't like it too much. It wasn't a whole lot of money to be made. Now, what I want to ask you
Mm-hmm.
next is the next step now getting your own authority, or have you gotten it already?
Um, honestly, getting my authority, like I know when the time is right, and right now the time isn't right for me. Is it a good time to get an authority and for people to get their authorities, people that want to get their authority? Yes, right now is the perfect time to get your authority because the rates are, through the roof. Rates are probably at an all-time high right now, especially for driving. So far as me and authority, like I don't have my authority, and at the moment I don't plan on getting my authority next week, next month, next year. I'm just and that for one reason I don't is because like I don't have a trailer right now. I don't have my trailer. I sold my trailer. I got rebuilding to do before I think about even getting the authority. I gotta rebuild myself, and that's what the process I'm in now. I'm relaying my foundation, the foundation to my business. So I know I can make plenty of money running under a carrier, getting 85 to 90%. So with that being said, I'm just gonna hold off, and because I got people in my family that has their own trucks and trailers, and I can just run under their authority. So um I'm not really sold on starting my authority or getting my authority at the moment.
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you've been in this thing 8 years. You know what it feels like to be a fleet owner. You don't want to get the authority, and then you've gone through so much in the 8 years out here, you know. What do you have to say to the newcomers that's coming in that just want to jump and get their own truck, or they want to just jump or go lease? I know you say best way to go is finance, right? So what do you have to
Yeah.
say to the new guys coming in with your
Hold
experience?
on. First, I want to say, far as the people that want to buy trucks and be fleet owners and have trucks and trailers, I want to say something about that. Like, if you have a family, wife, kids, or whatever, like, man, that truck and that trailer or those trucks, because you want to be a fleet owner, it's gonna suck a lot of your time. Like, every time you come home, you're gonna have to maintenance these trucks and be around and get these trucks fixed. Like, you're not really gonna have time to do anything else other than drive the truck, come home, get out the truck, maintenance the truck, either fix it yourself or take it to a shop and sit there with it or leave it there, drop it off. It's just it's a lot. It could be a nightmare. It could be a headache. It could be something you might not be ready for. And when it comes to having the authority or having, a fleet, you need a team behind you. That's basically what you need. You need a team behind you. Yeah, you can do it. A one man can run two or three trucks, but um, it's gonna be one hell of a rodeo. I can say that. As far as the newcomers coming into the game, um, man, woo, um, buckle down. And if there's something that you really want to do, and you want to make money, and it's money to be made, you just got to figure out what's for you in this industry. You got to figure out what side you want to be on. Do you want to sit, at a desk, or you want to sit behind the wheel? As simple as that. It's a lot. You don't just have to drive a truck in this industry, so um, figure that out. And if you do want to drive a truck, get that experience. Take your time out here. Keep between the lines. Um, GOAL. Get out and look. Don't be scared to get out and look. I've been driving almost 10 years now, and believe me, I still get out and look. Um, if I need to. What else? Even if I don't need to, sometimes we tired and could be unsure of something. And, never be ashamed or embarrassed to get out the truck and look. Make sure you ain't gonna hit nothing. Um, and far as some of the newcomers that are getting their CDL through, Steven, Swift, CR England, or whoever, or even just getting it yourself or paying through a small school. Um, I would advise you, don't take the quick easy route and pay to go through this school, and they don't teach you nothing. Then you go get behind the wheel and kill somebody or kill yourself, because these things do exist. These things do happen. These big trucks are not cars. It's not as easy as driving a car. Um, and I would also advise the newcomers as well, like, if you want to get your CDL and you don't want to be stuck with a company for a year in the contract because they paying to help you get your CDL, you want to go private school, and so you can pick whatever company you want to go drive for. That's cool, but I wouldn't get my CDL and then go drive for a small carrier that's not really gonna show me anything. I would advise all newcomers to go to a Stevens, a Warner, a Swift, because those mega carriers, they're going to teach you how to properly drive a truck. Those trainers are going to teach you how to properly drive a truck if you have a good trainer. They're going to teach you how to use the Jake brake. They're going to teach you how to use the engine brake. They're going to teach you how to go down a mountain, without killing yourself and killing 1,000 people in the process. And I don't want to bring this up, but the young man everybody's saying is in Colorado. I'm sure he was one of those guys who paid for a private school to help get his CDL, and he went to a small company, and they just sent him on a truck and gave him a load, and they just that happened basically. So um, that's my advice to the newcomers coming in the game. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can say more, but this is
Yes,
the spur of the
you
moment, off the
spent
top of the head. You know
a
what I'm
whole
saying?
lot of money in
Huh?
trucking and repairs. So can you, if you don't mind asking, cause we're a little nosy, okay?
Mhm.
How much money has you spent on both trucks and repairs?
Um, man, I would say, okay, my maroon truck, my first truck. My first year, I did pretty good. My first year, I only spent about maybe 5 grand in maintenance. Um, and 2 grand of it came. No, I spent. Well, I'm not including the oil change, but 2 grand. That, even though that's part of the maintenance, but um, 2 grand of it came from somebody stealing tires off my truck. Somebody stole tires off my truck. and the Landstar trailer. They stole two tires uh off my truck, off my drive tires, off my drives, and then they stole um all the outside tires on the Landstar trailer. So Landstar, they didn't charge me initially, but about a month and a half, 2 months later, they hit me with a what do you call that? Basically back charge me, but they only charged me like $1,000. So they was like, basically, how you want to do it? You want to pay it all up front, or you want to get it taken out in increments? And I was like, man, you know what? Just take it all out of my next settlement so I can get it over with. Because I don't like I told you earlier, I don't like paying bills. I don't like my overhead to be high. I like to keep my overhead low. Like I don't have car payments or you know truck payment anymore. So what was the question again? Shoot, I feel like I'm rambling because I didn't forgot real quick.
How much money have you spent in total with both trucks? That's buying the trucks and repairs. I know that's been a pretty penny, but because running two trucks, that ain't no easy thing, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not. Man, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the trailer in there too. Man, I had to pull my laptop up for that one. But if I had to take a rough guesstimate, um, cause I teamed in my maroon truck. I helped my dad start his business. Man, and 3 months we rode in my truck. I spent $15,000 in maintenance. For the 3 months we rode in my truck, and 5 years and 20 and 40, 50. Man, I say a easy $100,000, easy. Probably more than that. But that's just a rough guesstimate. But if I had to pull out some paperwork, like
Yikes!
you,
A whole
yeah,
100K. That's one
you'll be
whole
holding your
brand new
head.
truck in itself. Shit, that's a house.
Exactly.
That's
But
what
at
that
the end of
is
the
for
day, man,
real,
if
yo. For those of you
I
that
want
was
to see
wondering
some.
about fleet ownership, it's real. Okay, with Baby
Hey,
Blue, I think that's it. I spent like 16,000. No, 15,000 in one damn year, and I got a 2013. So yeah, it's expensive. Yo, you think you can keep running
yeah,
out the money or you won't, but just know it comes with a real hefty tag. You gotta be
yep,
ready for it,
exactly.
financially and physically and mentally.
Yep, and them big ass settlements, man. Like I had a homeboy, man. Like you got to save that money. Like at the end of the day, like you have to save that money because if you don't, like it's gonna put you in a bad situation. The truck, it don't matter. You people, yeah, I make 7,000 this week. Or I made 5,000. It don't matter how much money you making if you ain't saving it. Because at the end of the day, the truck gonna eat all that shit up. It's gonna eat it up if you ain't saving it. And if their truck ain't got nothing to eat on, which is them blue strips. You know what I'm saying? Like you gonna be out the game just like that. You gonna be out the game, holding your head.
Now you've been
Can
in
you hear me?
Landstar, I think, majority of this time. So give us like a real short summary of how your experience is. Or you got to go through every detail, but how is Landstar supposed to be the top notch? But I came across a driver at Kellard. Kellard are all damn places that he left Landstar and went to Kellard too. So give us the rundown about how your whole experience over there.
I want to say something about him first. If he left Landstar and went to Kellogg, I'm gonna say this: like he probably sucked. He sucked at booking his own loads. He sucked at negotiating rates. He just sucked, and he was lazy, and he want to go somewhere where he can get dispatched, and he ain't gotta look for a load or call a broker or a agent or whatever you want to call them people. Because at Landstar they call them agents, but when you picking loads off the DAT board, it's brokers. Like you basically talking to brokers and shit like that. But my experience at Landstar, it was good. It was great. Um, every company has its perks or pros and cons. But before I went to Landstar, honestly, because I do a extensive research before I bust a move and do anything business wise. Um, so before I went to Landstar, that whole year I was saving my money to buy a truck because I was doing research on the best truck to get, as a rookie, whatever cheap maintenance and whatever stuff like that. I had did a lot of research, and but that whole year I talked to probably about 40 Landstar drivers, man, and about 95% of them had been there for, you know, either 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and like I said, 95% of the drivers I talked to, they was happy and they was making money, so that's what made me make my decision to go to Landstar. When I got to Landstar, um, I had a rough, probably like my first week. My first week was really rough, but it wasn't that bad. Only thing that made it rough was Landstar, they didn't have trailers just parked on the yard to dish out to people coming out of orientation. You had to wait, and they'll call you and tell you where the empty trailer is that you have to go get, so you can have a trailer to make money. And they'll pay you like 50 cent a mile to go get that trailer. And my experience was good. I made good money at Landstar. They got a sitting duck policy. If somebody calls in on you and you on side of the road or on ramp or off ramp, or just parked on side of the road and you ain't broke down, Landstar will fire you. They will get rid of you. They don't play about that sitting duck policy. Um, I didn't have any issues at Landstar. They got good loads. They got good contracts. They got good freight. You should have a hazmat when you go there. You don't necessarily have to have one right out the gate, but you will have to get a hazmat because basically 80% of their loads are hazmat. And that's how you're gonna make your money. The hazmat loads pay. You can go 300 miles and get $1,600. You can go 200 miles and get $1,400. You can go 400 miles and get fucking $2,500. Like, that Landstar got the freight, they got the customers, they got the contracts. For anybody that wanna dispatch themselves and run off a load board, Landstar is the perfect place for a beginner. Now everybody complain about the 65% or whatever, but it's nothing like, it's not bad. Like I'm telling you, like I met some guys while I was there that wasn't making any money, and then I talked about how much I was making, and they was like, "Oh my gosh, how are you doing that? How are you hitting those numbers?" Like, shit, just booking smart freight, I guess, and running how I run. Because I was taking home after all expenses and everything like that. I was taking home on average anywhere between 3,700 and $4,700. Now, those I was hitting those numbers, and I was home every weekend. Every weekend I was home. You know, yeah, I have had weeks at Landstar where I took home, over 5,000. I had weeks where I took home 7,000. I had weeks where I took home, 6,500. I had those weeks, but you ain't hitting, 65 and 7,200. You ain't hitting that every week, but you can make a lot of money at Landstar. You want to get started being an owner operator, go finance your truck or lease a truck and go to Landstar. Like, you can make some money. You can make plenty of money over there, man. I have nothing negative to say about Landstar. I got nothing bad to say about them at all. They never done me any bad. Like,
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, but there's been a handful of drivers, y'all, that talk to me about Landstar. Landstar is the best place because van is so saturated, and if you're not doing open freight, you're not making that much money. Now, Breadtrukkk, Antoine, Beaver, you've been in this thing 8 years, you know,
hmm
and there's so much you done been through. And I know we talk about how you willing to give up on everything and things like that. So, is the goal in the near future to open up the fleet? You already got a taste of what mini fleet experience feels like. Do you want to have that
Hmm.
hustle in you now to grow your fleet to like 10, 20, 30? Like people like Truck and Guru got over 100 trucks. Like, do you think that you can mentally and financially handle that kind of value of business?
Yeah, I can mentally do it, but the thing is, like, I don't want 20 trucks. I don't want 50 trucks. Like, I don't want that for myself. I do plan on getting another truck. You know, I just want two trucks and that's it. That's all I want to do is two trucks. Like all that. Like once you start, the more you start growing, it's just the more. Because honestly, like I ran my business the wrong way. Honestly, I can say that openly. I ran my business solely off my capital. I didn't use any business credit. I didn't have any business credit cards, no personal credit cards to help with my business. I was running and keeping my business afloat with, my business profit. And that's how I ran my business. Because again, I don't like overhead or owing people or anything like that. That's just me, my philosophy, how I work, how I run. But I do want to get another truck again later. I'm gonna keep my maroon truck. Like I said, the white truck, I let that truck go. So right now I only currently have one truck. But in the near future, yeah, I can see myself running a small fleet of two trucks. Like that's about it. I don't care for having a bunch of trucks anymore. Like I got a taste of it. I know what it's like. And nah, not not for me. But congratulations to everybody else who inspired to have 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 trucks. But nah, that's not my cup of tea. Tried it. No, it take too much. It just takes too much. Like, and you gotta just it just takes too much,
And
man. You can
the
get your truck
money's
fixed
good, the
by
money's
some.
there, but it's you. You got to have. I think when you have a fleet of trucks like that, like Truck and Guru has, you have to have a team of people help you. It's not all done by one man show, and you have to learn how to leverage credit. See, I'm just
Yep.
now learning to build up the business credit. You know what I'm saying? I wish somebody would have told me back in Swift days I should start my LLC then, but I didn't know. You know, I was new.
Right.
I didn't have a man to tell me. You know what I'm saying? I had a trucking guy, but he knew nothing about it.
Hmm.
He been trucking for 30 years, know nothing about it either. You know, but you say he been driving like 16 years. So it is
Yeah.
so good not just jump into the game. So I'm going to Swift or Prime or Stevens. Do your research and make this into a real profitable business really for
Hmm.
you. You know, you have to really understand and tell people that that's the bomb, your brothers and sisters jump into the game too. If you know better, teach them. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I
Yep.
know you get what I'm saying. But
Exactly.
we're gonna go and wrap this up because I know he has to get up and get moving. But anything else
Yeah.
you have to say to people that's out here and they feel like trucking is the way to go and they don't want to do anything else, you know, I mean, it's trucking a good career to be in. You know, any last words you have to say to them?
Trucking is a great career to be in. But trucking is trucking. Trucking will be around forever. That's what keep America moving. um, Trucking, man. Man, shit. Repeat the question again. I'm sorry.
People that want to
I'm
get into
sorry.
trucking, like they outside looking in, they hear about all the money, but they don't know none of the strife. What do you have to say to
Okay,
those
okay,
particular set of
okay.
people?
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say what an old man told me when I first came in the game, and I only been driving for not even a year yet. Or man, old man told me, young man, get your money and get out this industry. You know what I'm saying? Because trucking is a gateway to start other businesses or do something that you really have a passion for. If you don't have a passion for trucking and you just want to get the money, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Get your money, save your money to do what it is, whatever it is that you want to do. You don't have to be stuck in the driver's seat holding the steering wheel forever. But it's if that's what you choose to do, kudos. Because I feel like the industry is always going to continue to grow. And if you're going to continue to stay in this industry, you got to be willing to grow with it. And that's that. I also want to say this too. Um, with my experience and everything I've been through, if I lost it all today, I would still be proud of myself because you know I did the extensive research to lay a foundation for myself for starting a company and having a business and things like that. Um, and the reason I'll be proud of myself and I wouldn't even be upset or anything like that or beat myself or kick myself about it because I've helped my dad. I helped my dad get his first truck. I helped my dad start his business. I helped my dad get his LLC. Um, my dad has a trucking company now. He's been running his company for 2 years, 2 years now. So I was able to actually help my dad, give him a job, and help him come up, out of his situation. I also um, I was able to help my mom. I was able to give my mom a job. You know what I'm saying? So just with those two accomplishments alone, having parents and you know, um, I was able to help my parents out of some messed up situations that they were in. So just that alone is a blessing in itself. Like how many people that you know personally that gave their parents a job and helped their parents go beyond where they were. You know what I'm saying? Who thought when I was born that I would be giving my parents a job? You know what I mean? So that's an amazing accomplishment. So I'm proud of myself for that, and I'm proud of myself today, and I'm good. And this trucking has the game has I'm gonna say the game has been good to me even through all the bullshit. The game has been good to me. Boom. Close the curtains. Drop the mic. Where the applause at? You feel me? Yeah, that part.
Truck Will. You can go follow him on Instagram. Okay, his information is in the description bar of this video. It is here. We'll be staying up. You know, we had a rocky start. Breadtrukkk, thank you so much for coming on, baby. I really do appreciate it, and hopefully we get a
Mm,
part two done on this. So you have a good
for
night.
sure. For sure. For sure. For sure. I got you, most
Okay, yo, hold on. Let me see. Okay, so yeah, so thank y'all so much for being on. Uh, Yeah, thank you, Michelle Spikes, Dan Silver, Associate Pastor. Thank you so much for being on. And shout out again to Breadtrukkk Will. You know, it's so much going on in this industry, so I'd love to bring people on that's really been through it, um, like Antoine. And, you got to know the real being out here. It's not all peaches and cream. It's not about them big settlements all the time. People think it is. And deal with these shippers and you see what he went through with the shop and Pragus. And let's say this, where Anton went through with the shop, he could have been stuck in one of them racist ass shops that didn't give a damn and not helped him. You know what I'm saying? So he was blessed in that situation. So just know, just recognize the realness of when you jumping out here. For real, y'all. So I love y'all, and y'all have a good night. Stay blessed. Hit like button, subscribe, comment down below, and it's your girl Sheep.